Hi all, I'm just doing a quick demonstration on how you can probably tell from the title of the video how you can convert a Schuberth C3 Pro to become basically an E1 with the peak, which was the main goal. So yeah, here we go. I'll just quickly show you what I did. So we'll open the visor first of all and take that off. So it's up like normal. Undo the two clasps and release the visor. We'll put that there for a minute. The next thing you would do is take a T10 Torx driver. You would remove these Schuberth badges first, which would be living in there. You undo that Torx screw, remove these two plastic components here, which are the locking, opening and closing mechanism, and you would have bought, as part of this setup, new ones which go in there. These are the new ones. These are for the E1. So you pop the E1 ones in. They fit really easily. They've got where is it? I picked up two of the same one. They've got little tabs in them which lock into the helmet in the right position. Fairly straightforward. They work together. So they were the original ones on the C3 Pro, and you put the new ones on for the E1. They come supplied with new lock nuts, screws with thread lock on them. So the screws are very small. Those are the original ones that are on there. You could reuse them, but you basically get a new set. So that's the helmet stripped down as far as you need to go. One thing I will point out now, which I'm not doing, is I did buy the E1 top vent as well, because apparently this one's a bit taller and can catch on the peak. I found it not to catch that badly. It just slightly rubs at one point in all of its travels, and it doesn't do any harm. It's flexible plastic on the peak. The other thing, the problem with this is on the E1 this slides. This is the bit that slides, so the underneath part that's part of the helmet isn't compatible with this, so you would need to basically dismantle the core of the helmet to get the new base plate on, I think, which makes this like unfeasible. So that was a waste of money. It's about £12 for one of those. It's a shame, but it would have been nice to do a proper job, but it doesn't do any harm. It's not actually causing any problems. So the next thing you need to do then, so you've put the mechanism on for the E1 on both sides, and then you get the new E1 visor. You'll see on the E1 visor that this section is open. You can put, which on the C3 Pro is solid plastic. That's the only difference between the two. I was planning on drilling out the original one to save money with a hole cutter, but because of this pin here, it made it practically impossible to do a neat job. You just had to drill smaller and then Dremel this out and try and keep that intact. Just isn't feasible. So that's off. So this fits on. This would have fitted on the C3 Pro as it was with the original mechanism. It's all the same connections, it's just empty in there. So we'll fit this now to the new mechanism, which is somewhere about there. And that just clicks down. So that's on and finished. And then peak wise, you've got a choice of white and black. There are two sizes, so make sure if you do copy this and decide to do it on the back of this, make sure you get the right size peak. I think one's extra large up to 3XL, and then there's the smaller one which is for anything up to large. So make sure you get the right peak. This mechanism doesn't matter. The visor matters as well. You've got to get, again, that's XL to 3XL, and then the smaller size up to large. So yeah, and then we've got the peak, and then that's why this has got the hole in the middle. It's to allow the peak mechanism to fasten in. So we'll pop the peak on next. Which I think is about there, and that's the peak on. And then the peak has, as you'll know from all the E1 reviews, the peak has three positions. So you put the tab down, and then this can slide back to number 2 and then slide back to number 3. It's clear of the top. You can probably see there. I'll put it to number 2. Number 2, it's just touching the button, and number 1 is down there, and it's just clear of the gloss plastic on the air vent, and this is fully accessible, which is where I'm having it, I would think, most of the time anyways, down in the lower position. And then we'll just lock it off, and then the visor works. It all just goes straight on without any problems. This is a perfect fit. I think that basically the only difference between the two helmets is that air vent, and then the air vents at the very front here, the way this bit's moulded and placed. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. It's a pretty simple job to do. I'll put the part numbers below. Everything I bought was from the visor shop. They had everything in stock. I think that was about best part of £90. I think the visor's about £50–60, and then the mechanism is £24 for the mechanism on the sides. You can also get these little caps, which I've got here. So if you wanted to run the E1 visor without the peak on, you could just put these little clips, these little caps in, which cover the mechanism, will keep the wind noise down, stop the water getting in. But yeah, pretty straightforward job really. I wish I'd done it sooner. It's worked out really well. Oh, one thing I will point out is the visor goes to that position fully up when this is in its lowest position. Any other position, put that back down again. Any of the other higher positions, and it goes further up again. And you go up into the top position, and it goes further up again. So it is relative to what the visors, to where you've got this, as to how far up this can go. But that's it. Yeah, I hope that was of some use to someone. I'll put the part numbers in the description. Like I say, everything I bought for this was from the visor shop. All this side of things just works exactly the same. No problems at all. Yeah, that's it. Hope it's been of some use, and thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.